I do want to show you, last time I showed you how to convert something like, I don't know, 40 miles to meters or something like that. Meters. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's say 40 kilometers to feet. That's the one I think I showed you. Something like that. These ones where there's no direct connection on your formula sheet, right? You don't have a direct connection. There's no direct conversion between there and your formula sheet. If I was to get the formula sheet out. Okay, so that sheet that you're hopefully becoming more and more familiar with, right? Metric conversions, imperial conversions, and then the ones between the two. If you're trying to convert between the two, you might come across that situation where you have to convert units that you don't have a direct connection between. There's no direct conversion factor. Like there's nothing on that sheet that says kilometers and feet. And I told you last time that you could do this by doing it in 2 steps. You can say, let me change kilometers to say meters, and then change meters to feet. And that's totally fine if you do that. If you say 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, and then I think on that sheet, if you're using the formula that's there, or the conversion factor that's there, that thing, 1 foot is that. If you're using that connection there, you could say 0.3048 meters is 1 foot. You can do that, and that'll work, right? If you go 40 times 1,000 divided by that number, it'll work. But I do want to show you another method that's maybe quicker if it makes some sense to you. As long as you're multiplying by a fraction that's equal to 1, each of these fractions is equal to 1, it'll work. So what you could do is you could say, I want to get to feet here, and I'm in kilometers. I need to use something that's a link between those two. So another way you can do it is make a conversion factor that you look on here for 2 different things that they're both connected to. So you might say I have feet and I have kilometers. They're both connected to miles. Here feet is connected to miles, and here kilometers is connected to miles. So you could use those 2 things. You could say I know 1.609 kilometers is a mile, and 5280 feet is a mile, or a mile. If you put those 2 numbers on here, this is the other way you can do it, and it's not a bad way either. If you say, I want to get rid of this, if I know that 1.609 kilometers is a mile, and I know that 5280 feet is a mile, sorry, not equals, times this. That's another way you can do it because it's still going to work. It's a different way. It might make more sense to some of you. As long as you use 2 things that are equal here, and the way you know they're equal is both of these are equal to a mile, so you can use them. You can say 5,280 feet is 1.609 kilometers. And then all you have to do to get this is say, I need to do 40 times 5280. Divide by 1.609, and then that'll get you the answer. It should get you roughly close to the same answers you had the other way. Okay, so let's do that. 40 times 5280 divided by 1.609. Except I missed my, oh come on. Let's try again here. 40 times 5280 divided by 1.609, and that should work. Did I miss anything there? Okay, that's a big number because you expect it. 40 kilometers is going to be a lot of feet. 131261 or 262, 131262. Let's call it. If you did it the other way, you might not get exactly the same answer because all of these conversion factors are approximate. If you did it this way, you'd get something close, right? Both ways you're going to get something close. Let's do it that way and see. 40 times 1,000 divide by 0.3048. Okay, you should get roughly the same thing. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. Those are obviously quite far off. You have to recognize that when you're giving an answer for this, it's only going to be an approximate answer. It's not going to be an exact answer. Don't put a whole bunch of decimals after it. Probably even these digits are wrong on it. Okay? anyways, there's more than one way to do this. I want you to understand that. All right? That is it for that.